Army a round of applause. I would be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to acknowledge one of my colleagues that's here, Alderman Michelle Smith from the 43rd Ward. Who's actually here with one of your board members. So I hope you nudge Michelle to get some money over here. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Joyce Gallagher from Department of Family and Supportive Services. And also Juan Cruz from the Department of Family and Supportive Services, who both work hard to make sure the Salvation Army get their funding over here. And as you see, we need more funding over here for those programs. I know that the other names of the other elected officials were mentioned, but I'd like to mention Congressman Danny Davis. Congressman Danny Davis fights so hard for ex-offenders and people who are trying to get their lives back on track, who have been recovering from drugs. A lot of folks don't know all of the things that he do, but this organization itself, their program, they were about to take the work release program from the Salvation Army and put it down south somewhere else in the state. And Congressman Davis made sure that that money stayed here in Chicago to help our folks. So a lot of great things happen that we don't know about. And also, again, I want to acknowledge State Representative LaShawn Ford and State Representative Chris Welch. Let's give them a round of applause. He helped the Salvation Army with one of their programs, and they helped the Salvation Army with one of their programs, and probably many others, but this is not even their district. So that's a special thank you to both of them. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate that. I'd like to commend all of the board members of the Salvation Army, all of the soldiers and captains and colonels and all of the other military folks that's involved, and everyone else. God bless you all for everything that you guys do in the Salvation Army. You know, I've told the story before. When I first came home from being incarcerated, I needed a place to, I needed some outfits. So I had to go to the Salvation Army to get my first suit and tie to go on an interview for a job. So they've been helping many people for many years. So I will always do whatever I can to help the Salvation Army. And over 15 years ago, I used to represent the Freedom Center when I was first elected as alderman. And the community thought that, over on Ashland, they thought that it would be a good idea to move them away because they wanted to make the neighborhood something else. And we had to fight those folks. I had to risk not getting them to support me, but I had to stand up for what's right. Myself and a bunch of churches stood up and say, hey, these folks are going to stay here until they're ready to move. And so they stayed there. And I thank God when they chose to be ready to move, that they moved to the 27 wards. So. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge Vance Henry from Mayor Rahm Emanuel's office. Vance is also a pastor. Matter of fact, he was a pastor at our church. He moved on to do bigger and better things in other areas. But we appreciate him, and he's a good brother. Originally come from the Lawndale Christian Center, so his heart is in the right place. So it's always good to have Christian folks. One of the great things about this facility being here is that when they first came to me, I told them that you need to go talk to the community. The West Humboldt Park Development Council. The president of the board is Jimmy Simmons, who's here, and Barbara, who's on the board, and many other people. We'd like to give them a round of applause. When other communities was trying to push the Salvation Army out of their neighborhood, this community embraced the Salvation Army. And the Salvation Army came to this neighborhood, and they met with the folks. They listened to all of the challenges we were going through in this neighborhood, and they just jumped right into it. Right across the street from this facility, Christiana used to be a dark street. It used to be prostitutes. That was the place where the prostitutes and the drug addicts would go, and the Johns would go and get their dates and all of those things. And the Salvation Army moved right here and started working with those people immediately. They started coming over here, feeding people, talking to the people who were on drugs and alcohol, trying to encourage them to do something different, working with the young people, getting involved with the seniors and the community. And they really showed the neighborhood that we want to be part of this neighborhood. And they embraced the community. And the community, one of the things that the community always asks for when things are developed in this neighborhood, in all neighborhoods, they ask for jobs. And the Salvation Army hired so many people from the neighborhood to work on their facility. We want to commend them for that. Let's give them a round of applause for that. Matter of fact, Keith he worked for a security company. Their security company was predominantly people from the neighborhood. Ricky is a laborer, and he worked on this site, and many, many other people have worked on this site. So we commend the contractor. They met with the community once a month to talk about the jobs and how they were building and everything, and included the community in every step of the way. So we really commend them for this. This organization is what we need in this neighborhood. It's a lot of good people here, but there's a lot of people who are sick, a lot of people who have lost their way, and a lot of people that need help. This facility being here will help those people find their way and bring them back. We're very blessed to have the Salvation Army, a Christian organization. We got Breakthrough Ministry just to the south, another Christian organization. And we got several other Christian organizations coming to the area. I think that no community will turn around without God being involved. So I was very happy when the Salvation Army chose to come this way and know of their work and how they get involved and help people to change their lives. And also, to have a facility with a work release center. Unfortunately, a lot of people coming back home from being incarcerated come to this community. A lot of times, and the congressmen know and the state reps know, when they way downstate somewhere or out of town, their parents and their wives and their kids come asking us to move them closer to home because it's a burden on the families to have to go and see them. Having this work release center here puts people close to their family, but not only that, it gives their family an opportunity to see them changing, to see them going through job programs, going through training programs, getting a job and taking care of their business. So it gives their families an opportunity to see that they're not the same person that they were when they first made their mistakes or was going down the wrong road. So this really gives people an opportunity to embrace their family, bring families together, and continue to grow. So we just are grateful and blessed to have the Salvation Army over here in West Humboldt Park. I thank God for them, and I pray that God will continue to bless this organization to continue to do more things, not only in this community, but all over the city of Chicago. Thank you very much.